CLC has been working for 26 years on the discussions around repatriations of objects back to Central Australia, to Aranda Luritja people, particularly to Aranda people. Though. So we'll have to say as well, this is the first time that Luritja people have visited those collections, and in particular, first time ever for any women to see any of the objects, Aranda and Luritja. So they've never been any other women come and visited this in Europe, which posed, I think, as the artist pointed out, quite a lot of issues as well, and some cautiousness around how to access the buildings and how to engage with the objects and make sure that they are actually from Central Australia, because the records are often very patchy as well. And the other issue that has been really big in almost every situation that we went to, didn't matter whether this was in Australia or overseas, is that a lot of the curators are actually not men. But it's a female-dominated field, whereas the objects are almost all men's business. So this caused a lot of uneasiness around it too, and meant that I had to write emails to make sure that the setup was proper, and we had, when we arrived, in a lot of cases, first meetings around how to access things and ensure that we split up the group and had different people going into different rooms. So yeah, the actual talk about repatriation was only really touched on in Basel, because specifically Stuttgart, the Central Land Council had already visited. Basel and Bern had never been visited by the Land Council. So the offer in Basel is there. We just have to know what people want, and they have to point it out. And the men want to have meetings here with elders to discuss which objects we should send the information back on that they would like them to be returned. The funding now from the Australia Council has finished, but the idea is to keep going with this and accessing other collections that we haven't accessed yet in Europe in particular, and to continue working in particular with the South Australia Museum, because they have the largest collection in Australia. And then to start for the museum staff to come out here and have on-site visits where they can discuss with elders who can't travel because of illness or this being too hard on them, to actually meet here on site and then discuss the stories, but also what's going to happen to the objects in the long run. Is there a possibility of repatriation? How would it work? Where would the repository be? And all that, yeah.